Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ika Anggraini with NIM 17035210035 from Digital Office Administration di First Study Program, Faculty of Economics, Universitas Negeri Jakarta. Today, I will present my thesis proposal defense entitled Analysis of Inactive Archive Management Mechanisms at Executive Office of the President Republic of Indonesia. The topic overviews that I will present today includes Chapter 1, Introduction, which consists of research background, research question, and research objective. Chapter 2, Literature review, which consists of research concept and literature review of previous research. And then Chapter 3, Research methods, which consists of place and time of research, research design, data source and research sample, data collection technique, data validity technique, and data analysis technique. Chapter 1, Introduction, Research Background. Archive management activities are still often used by companies, organizations, and institutions considering the importance of information that must be stored properly for work continuity. Organized archival management procedures can also help in reassessing all ongoing activities so that there is a match of targets, benefits, and time, based on Hendriani 2024. And here are the pre-research was conducted to 7 employees regarding the implementation of the management archive in the Executive Office of President, whether it has been running well or not. And the results of the research can be seen in the following picture. That means 85.5% answered agree, while 14.5% answered strongly agree. That means implementation of records management in the Executive Office of the President has done running well. And then pre-research on whether the number of archivists in the Executive Office of the President, and the results can be seen in the following picture. That means 71.4 answered disagree, while 28.6 answered strongly disagree. That means the number of archivists in the Executive Office of the President is still not enough for making effective, well-managing archive. And lastly, pre-research on whether the facilities and infrastructure for storing and maintaining archives in the Executive Office of the President are adequate. The results can be seen in the following picture. That means 85.5% answered disagree, while 14.5% answered strongly disagree. That means the facilities and infrastructure for storing and maintaining archives in the Executive Office of the President has not adequate. And next is research questions. Based on task background, the researcher formulated the following research questions such as first, what are the stages of archive management at the Executive Office of President the Republic of Indonesia? Second, what are the supporting and inhibiting factors in archive management at the Executive Office of the President the Republic of Indonesia? And third, how to overcome the obstacles that occur in archive management at the Executive Office of President the Republic of Indonesia. And research objectives. This research aims to first to be able to identify the stage of archive management at the Executive Office of President the Republic of Indonesia. Second, to be able to analyze the supporting and inhibiting factors in archive management at the Executive Office of President the Republic of Indonesia. And third, to be able to identify how to overcome obstacles that occur in archive management at the Executive Office of President the Republic of Indonesia. And Chapter 2, Literature Review, Research Concept. The first, the definition of archives. According to the Kamus Besar Bahasa Indonesia, or KBBI, archives are written, oral, or pictorial documents from the past that are stored in written, electronic media, and issued by official agencies that are stored and maintained in a special storage place as a backup and reference material. Second, the function of archive according to Sukaisi et al. 2023. First, support the decision-making process. Archives can function as information that has high credibility so that it can become supporting evidence in the decision-making process. Second, support the planning process. Archives can function as planning support material to estimate the conditions that will be achieved in the future. Third, as an evidentiary proof. In some activities, archives can be used as evidence from the past that can serve as an accountability material. And fourth, as a memory. Informations can be used by organizations, agencies, and companies as memory or memories made in the form of archives. Third, types of archives according to Nuriani 2019. First, dynamic archive, namely archives that are used directly in activities and stored for a certain period of time, are further divided into three, namely active archive, inactive archive, and vital archive. Active archives, namely archives that have a high frequency of use and are continuously used for task implementation. Examples of active archives are agreement letters, financial reports, proof of payment, and so on. Next, inactive archives are archives whose frequency of use has decreased and are rarely used for daily activities. Archives can be said to be inactive if they are used less than 10 times a year. An example of an inactive archive is a letter requesting official travel expenses dated October 10, 2014. It can be seen from the time period that the archive is already inactive. Vital archives, which are archives that are a basic requirements for the continuity of the archive's creator, cannot be renewed, and cannot be replaced if lost or damaged. Examples of vital archives are deeds of incorporations, diplomas, report cards, contract agreements, and so on. Fourth, inactive archive management. Inactive archive management is a systematic process of controlling inactive archives based on the knowledge, expertise, and responsibilities of each human resource so that the goal of organizing effective and efficient archive is achieved. According to SATAR 2020, the goal is to ensure the preservation of consistent and valuable archives and to make the archive retrieval system more effective and efficient, based on Effendi and Mahmoud 2019. And last, the stage of inactive records management, according to Nuriani 2018, consists of first examination, namely by conducting a data collection survey and overall archive information to find out what kind of archives are owned by the organization or company, how the classification system is, and the level of development. Second, sorting. Sorting archives that have been examined between archives and non-archives. Some things that are non-archives are folders, blanks, blank forms, boxes, and opaque paper. Grouping. Grouping archives based on chronological time and problems to facilitate the management of these archives based on determining the age of the archives. And fourth, making archive lists. Making a list of archives as an entry point for finding archives when needed. Fifth, numbering. Numbering the archive files and putting them into archive boxes. Seventh, labeling. Labeling the archive boxes. Generally, the archive box label reads processing unit, period, classification, and subject matter. Storage of archive. Storage of archive boxes on archive shelves. The archive shelves should also be numbered to make it easier. when searching for archives. And next, literature review of previous research. First, research conducted by Mona Akida Octaria on 2023. Research title, Analysis of Archival Management at the Palembang Religious Education and Training Center. The research results, the implementation of archive management at the Palembang Religious Education and Training Centers runs well on each indicator, starting from receiving letters, storing letters, maintaining, shrinking, and destroying archives. Next, research conducted by Rahayu et al. On 2022. Research title, Implementation of Dynamic Archive Management at the Sukoharjo Regency Archives and Library Office. Research results, Dynamic Archive Management is still not optimal due to lack of maintenance, so that many archives are damaged. In addition, the lack of facilities and infrastructure and the limited number of archival workers hinder the dynamic archive management process. Chapter 3, Research Methods. Research place. This research was conducted at the Executive Office of Presiden Republik of Indonesia, Central Jakarta. And this research was conducted approximately 5 months, starting from August 2024 until December 2024. The research design used is a qualitative method with case study to be able to evaluate various aspects, including various points of view on problems, processes, and events. Therefore, the research sample use is purposive sampling, namely by using certain considerations such as choosing people who are considered to know the most about the object or situation to be studied. The research sample selected included 3 informants from Secretariat Executive Office of the President. There are the archivist, the head of the administrative subdivision, and the head of secretariat. Furthermore, data collection techniques were carried out using primary data, sources derived from observations, interview, and documentations, and as secondary data sources from relevant journals, books, scientific articles, and supported website articles. Data validity in this study were carried out using triangulation techniques to ensure that the data obtained is accurate and appropriate to support this research. Sketch as follows with these pictures, starting from observation and then validated by interviews and also supported by documentation, so that data validity is formed. The data analysis technique in this study consists of 4 flows, namely data collection, data reduction, data display, and drawing and verifying conclusions. Data collection is conducted from primary data and secondary data. Data reduction is, in this research, process involves identifying and grouping data obtained from observation, interviews, and documentation, with the aim of processing them into more significant information. And then data display is done by communicating data that has been collected and reduced in the form of narratives to make it easier to understand the ongoing situation. And last, drawing and verifying conclusion. Verification is processed to ensure that the data entered is the same as the data from the original source, so that the assessment and suitability of the data are more precise and objective. Then, draw conclusions from all the data that has been verified. Initial conclusions are usually still temporary and cannot change if not supported by strong evidence. Meanwhile, the final conclusion can be drawn when data collection is complete. And here are some of references used in this research proposal. Thus, the presentation of my thesis proposal that I can describe more or less, please forgive. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.